This is Costa Rica, a peaceful country, 5.5 million inhabitants. Actually, there's 5.1 more or less, but that was the population before the pandemic. And maybe some people, they are not really anymore in Costa Rica. I mean, some of the immigrants are back to their countries. 60% of the people live in the Central Valley area, where we have five of the major cities of our country. San Jose is the capital city. Costa Rica is a very small country, only 19,700 square miles. We compare it to the state of West Virginia for you to have an idea. We have coast both the Pacific and the Caribbean Sea. Three mountain ranges cover the territory with nine active volcanoes. This is one of the reasons to visit Costa Rica. The dry season goes from December till April. We just have two seasons. And the rainy, or as we call green season, it is from May till November. The rainy season, it is normally a very steady season in terms of the weather. It means it rains in the afternoon, 1 hour, no more than 2 hours. So you're able to enjoy the mornings, very sunny mornings, and then you have lunch, take a nap, and then go back to the beach, go back to your activities. English is widely spoken in our country. You can see now this is the Poas volcano, okay? One of the biggest craters in the world. We have very good infrastructure for tourism. Actually, I mean hotels, I mean attractions, I mean adventure. All the facilities for tourism are really, really good. We have a first world public and private health system. This is why it has been a way to contain the pandemic in Costa Rica for an undeveloped country, which is not easy. Costa Rica has this social system since 1949, and the social system means a national fund for hospitals, for health, for retirement. Okay, we have a system of national parks founded in 1970, covering more than 25% of our territory. And currently, we have flights from most important Canadian hubs and US, and we are located just 5 hours away from Toronto. What is the COVID situation right now? I mentioned to some that joined first that we are in a good position. We opened the borders back in August for flights from Europe. We haven't closed the borders since that time. And actually, we opened borders totally to all nations back in November. So we have shown the protocols. We have very strict protocols. Most of the properties with WTTC seal. That means the World Tourism Council. 94% of the hotels in Costa Rica has less than 40 rooms. They are now working under 50% capacity, but in terms of rooms, they can operate fully right now. We have just decreased the number of cases since the last 2 weeks to more than 60%. I mean, today we have 440, but we have 200 during the weekend and Monday. So it means we are down from the 800s we had 15 days ago. Beaches are open until 6 p.m. They were open until 2 p.m. for most of the time during the pandemic. And no quarantine, no PCR test required at this moment. We know to go back, you might need one, so we coordinate that so people can be assured they can have the test to fly back home. Okay, the current requirements for traveling to Costa Rica they are very simple. Just completing the online health form, very easy. The insurance has to have a minimum of 50,000 US dollars for medical expenses and a minimum of 2,000 US dollars for extended lodging if required. Like if someone gets infected, so people can stay in a hotel without having any problem in paying the rooms. That's the idea. If you cannot get this kind of medical in your country, in your place, we have two companies, the INS and Sahicor. These companies, they are providing insurances with these minimums um, very easily. You just go online and apply and get the quotation, and the prices range from $9 to $12 per person per day. Some unique things about Costa Rica. Why do you want to come to Costa Rica? Why Costa Rica is so special? I mean, I say the word green. So green to describe us. This is the Pacuare River. So you can see the greenery is because of the wildlife we have in our country, the adventure possibilities. This is a great destination. Costa Rica is one of the top destinations for families and honeymooners. 4% of the planet's biodiversity is located here. Costa Rica has just 0.003 of the world mass. So it means a lot having four, it's actually more than 4% of the planet's biodiversity. Costa Rica is one of the safest destinations in Latin America, highly educated and hospitable people. That's what I mentioned. Pura vida. We love visitors. 9 active volcanoes and thermal healing waters. This is one of the reasons. Arenal volcano, the picture that was in the back of myself where I was born. This place is one of the most visited in Costa Rica. Great place for surfing and diving. We have the famous Cocos Island. The Treasure Island belongs to Costa Rica, a little bit far away, but this is one of the top destinations for diving. Turtle nesting sites in both the Pacific and the Caribbean coast, and many beautiful isolated beaches. But I have to mention something. Costa Rica is not a beach destination. Costa Rica is a wildlife adventure destination. And then we have great beaches, great isolated, beautiful beaches at the end. Why I'm saying this? We don't want to compete on the beach market. There are some beach destinations with very cheap facilities, cheap accommodations. We cannot compete with those in many countries, in many islands in the Caribbean and Asia. So Costa Rica, it is a green destination. Top site experiences. This is a quetzal for you to know, this beautiful bird that we find on the cloud forest. We have on the East Coast, on the northern side, we have Tortuguero National Park. You see here the canals. We made these canals. Those are man-made canals connecting rivers and lagoons to have access to this area. Still today, we don't have roads to get to Tortuguero. The little town of Tortuguero does not have cars, so there's no roads in Tortuguero. It's really safe. 1,000 people live in Tortuguero, and this is one of the activities, obviously, navigating the canals and spot wildlife, great wildlife in Tortuguero. And then from July till September, we have the nesting season, the green turtle nesting season. So that is a bonus because all year round we have great wildlife. It is a soft adventure destination. It is great for Canadians. And this is loved by all visitors and sometimes not considered, but it is one of the major destinations of Costa Rica. Actually, we have about 10 lodges there. The biggest has about 90 rooms. And for you to know, to build one room, how much it costs to get every single piece of material has to be brought from the center of the province by boat to this area, taking about 4 hours. So building a room, it is really hard, it is expensive. So this is why this is a destination with not so many hotels. Tortuguero is operated as a package. It takes, usually we recommend 3 days in Tortuguero, including activities, transportation, natural skies. And obviously, when we have the turtle season, you can buy that tour that is operated by the local community right at the hotel. So it is a package usually, and we recommend doing Tortuguero at first. Means landing in San Jose, overnight in Costa Rica in San Jose, and then next morning going down to the Caribbean side to the lowlands of Tortuguero. And then one of the most important destinations, as I mentioned before, is the Arenal volcano in the northern plains of Costa Rica. We have here Rio Celeste. We have lots of wildlife. We have the Arenal Lake. We have lots of incredible adventure attractions, rainforest, really nice people. I'm from there. I'm very nice. So very nice people. I promise that there are people there are very, very, very caring. And all of them, they built the hotels around the volcano. So they are so proud to say, I have a volcano in my garden. And in Arenal, actually, we have one of the best properties in Costa Rica, which is Nayara, named as number one of the top properties for travel and leisure back in 2016 with 99.6 score. So this area is really fantastic and provide lots of opportunities of wildlife viewing, um, adventure, uh, and above all, the thermal heating waters of the Arenal volcano. This is Monteverde. Crossing the lake and going up to the mountains, we can find this area. Monteverde was founded really, long, long ago, back in the 50s, in the mid 50s. Quakers from United States came down to Costa Rica, escaping from the possibility of sending their children to war. So they decided to relocate to Costa Rica and they found a community in Monteverde. They bought a piece of land and they kept one part of it protected, which it became Monteverde. This is kind of a private reserve. It is not part of the national system. So in Monteverde, we have this great um, hanging bridges. We have various systems of hanging bridges, but above all, we have the zip lining. Zip lining was invented in Costa Rica, and Monteverde has the first zip lining in the world. And as I told you before, this is the Quetzal. The Quetzal can be found in this area, especially in Monteverde on the dry season from December till April, where they come out from the mountain and get their aguacatillo, the little avocado, which is their food. So cloud forest, it is rainforest on a higher altitude. Actually, we do something here that is called now rainforest bath, which means you go inside the forest, stay there and meditate, sit down, connect to the earth and breathe just for an hour or so and people get healed, gets all this stress out and you just become like a new person. I can promise that. So really, really nice. And then Manuel Antonio. Manuel Antonio is in the coast, is in the Central Pacific side. This is the smallest park of the country, but it's the one of the most visited areas, maybe the second most visited park after the Boas volcano because of the beautiful beaches. There are 3 beautiful beaches inside. We have great wildlife and lots of attraction, lots of adventure projects in the area of Manuel Antonio. For you to know, we don't have all-inclusive hotels here because there's so many things to do. People won't stay in the hotel. They will decide that people will be doing activities all day long and enjoying obviously the beaches. This is the public beach, one of the public beaches in Manuel Antonio. The 3 species of monkeys, actually, this is the white-faced capuchino monkey. We have the 4 species of monkeys in Manuel Antonio. And then Guanacaste, we have the second international airport in Liberia. Liberia Airport is in Guanacaste, very close to these beaches. We have here, this is a farming land. This is one of the Sabaneros. We call Sabaneros the cowboys. And this is another active volcano, which is Rincón de la Vieja. From Arenal to the north, we have four more volcanoes located in this province in Guanacaste. But we go to Guanacaste especially because of the beaches. We have some other attractions for the people going to Guanacaste. There's so many people saying, go to Costa Rica, go to the beach. I mentioned this before. Costa Rica is not a beach destination, but we do have great beaches in Guanacaste, in the Central Pacific. We have great beaches in the South Caribbean side. One thing you have to remember, Tortuguero, remember Tortuguero, the beginning. That is a green, fantastic wildlife destination. It is not a beach destination. I will show you the map we have drawn. This is Parque Nacional Marino Ballena, the Whale Marine National Park. You see this whale tailing to the ocean. This is made by nature, by God, and this is one of the top sites to observe whales, especially from July till November. It means many of the whales from the south will come this area to breed, to have babies, and to enjoy the warmer waters of Costa Rica. And then Corcovado. Corcovado National Park is at the very south of Costa Rica, the South Pacific side. Corcovado is like the Corcovado the Christ in Rio de Janeiro. So this is a park. This is all green. It is known, it is recognized by the Royal Geographic and the National Geographic as the most biologically intense place on Earth. So Costa Rica is all green, but this area, it is the number one destination. And actually, I can tell you, you can leave the beach at the end when you come to Costa Rica, but Corcovado is so impressive. You can leave it at the end to have the most amazing experience at the end, especially if you come with your family. It is a great destination to connect with nature. This is one of the places to see wildcats. We don't feed them. We don't feed animals in Costa Rica because of sustainability. Remember, most of the properties, most of the companies in tourism Costa Rica have been certified in sustainability. So we cannot feed animals. So we don't feed the cats in Costa Rica. And so this is why it takes time. It is more difficult to spot them in Corcovado, but this is a great area to stay there and to have the chance to do walks and maybe spot one or two in our treks in Corcovado. Now I want to show you some hidden gems of Costa Rica. Some of these amazing places might be a place, a destination, could be a hotel like Finca Rosa Blanca. See on this picture here in the corner, this is the hotel right here, and this is the coffee plantation. So you can do a coffee tour when you stay in Rosa Blanca. I'm showing this because Costa Rica is not a place for visiting cities. Obviously, you will find all Costa Ricas and the hospitality and, interacting with us in the cities. But Costa Rica, as I said, this is a green country. It is a place offering remoteness, offering the possibility to interact with nature. And so I'm showing this because this is very close to the airport. You can stay here 2, 3 nights, visit the local communities, do a coffee tour, enjoy the spa, and especially enjoy the great views to the Central Valley area. Then Pacuare. Pacuare is located right on the edge of the Pacuare River. To come here, usually you do a class 3 rafting trip, about 3 hours. On the way out, you do class 3 and 4. But you can just cross the river and come by a 4x4. So you don't need to do rafting if you're scared or you don't want to do rafting. But rafting on the Pacuare is one of the main attractions of this lodge. 19 bungalows, and some of their rooms, like the Linda Vista Suite, has about 300 square feet. The family room has about 400 square feet. So it is really impressive. It is one of the top lodges of Costa Rica, and it is mentioned in most guides. Then Origins is less known. It is located in the northern plains, north of the Arenal volcano. This area is a getaway. It is just to go with your family. You can do a buyout. It is only 7 lodges. They call lodge to each room. The owner of this property is a very famous French chef. He bought this piece of land. He had this his farm. He likes to try new recipes here, and so he was bringing friends, and everybody were asking him, why not sharing this to the world? You have to share this place. So he built six more, actually five more lodges. So he has actually six villas, amazing villas in the northern plains. So activities in their premises, they have about 400 hectares of land, but also you have access to the Arenal volcano, to the nearby volcanoes Miravalles and Tenorio, but you can also visit the marshlands of Caño Negro and also Rio Celeste. Now I want to show you the South Caribbean. We don't sell it that much to the North American market, but the South Caribbean is really a hidden gem of Costa Rica. Why? Because of the culture, the Afro-Caribbean culture. Food is great. People is so relaxed here, and the food is really great, but it takes time to get the food served. But actually, when you go on vacation to this area, you have all the time to wait, all the time to enjoy the beautiful isolated beaches. Actually, this is my favorite beach area, the South Caribbean of Costa Rica. We have some national parks nearby. We have lots of wildlife, lots of activities, but it's more like the Caribbean vibe. It is really nice to forget about the rest of the world when you are here. Casilla. This is a lot. This is just five. They are now building two more of these rooms. It is kind of a tented camp. It is a construction, but it looks like a tented, luxury tented camp. It is located I will say, in a private beach near Papagayo. Um, Actually, it has two restaurants, two experiences for the people staying there. So it is all about service, gourmet food. It is all about also a getaway and enjoy an isolated beach. In Costa Rica, beaches are public. There are no private beaches. Why? We protect the shoreline. 200 meters from the high tide point, it is protected. It means you cannot own a beach, you cannot own that part of land. You can get a concession for 60, 50, 90 years, but some hotels, they do that, they get concessions to get closer, but you cannot build really. You cannot build at the beach. So very few hotels are located at the beach, and those were built before this law. I mean, more than 40 years ago. So this area does not have any other access to the beach. So they are not, uh, they don't need to do another, I would say, they don't need to give a chance for local people to enter their property. Only if there's two ways to get to the beach, you can allow other visitors to go to the beach. Obviously, if you come by boat, you can stay at the beach because it is a public area. So this is one of the most beautiful lodges in Guanacaste, near Papagayo. And then we have in the south, we have Nantipa. Nantipa, it is located in the peninsula de Nicoya. In this area, we have two beaches, Santa Teresa and Malpais. This is one of the best places for surfing, but this is a place for the crazy rich people. Actually, Tom Brady, who just won the Super Bowl, and Giselle Bundchen, they have a property here. So you see a lot of famous people walking on the beach, and nobody cares who's who. Great restaurants, lots of good restaurants, and this is actually the biggest property. Only 16 villas, only 16 rooms. Really, really nice. Uh, Then in that area, more towards north, the same in the peninsula de Nicoya, we have Nosara. This is the number one place to spot turtles. The turtle nesting here is incredible. This is located north of Nosara. This is called Ostional. We have great beaches here like Pelada. We have also Quiones. Quiones is another one of the best beaches for surfing in Costa Rica. You see this view? This is a view to Nosara. This is a protected area. Actually, this hotel, which is Lagarta Lodge, it has $1 billion views. It is amazing. And it is located just, I would say, half a mile to Pelada Beach, which is a beautiful white sandy beach. So we have this happening in Nosara, in Ostional, the turtle nesting. It is happening almost every month on the last quarter of the moon. It means when the moon is becoming darker, at that time, almost every month, we have the arribadas. Arribadas is when we have more than 500 turtles nesting at the same time. We have a spot. Once I was there, it was by December. It was not the best time at that day. Uh, we were in the next beach, it's a beautiful beach here, which is San Juanillo. There's no hotels here. There's no construction, but it's a small village here. So we took a boat, but there were so many turtles in the ocean coming to the beach that day. That was the 31st of December, 2018, that the authorities, the police, asked us to get off the boat to come back to the beach because they were not allowing people, navigating because of the number of turtles in the ocean. So, Nosara and the Peninsula of Nicoya, this is one of the blue zones of the world. It means this is the place where the people lives the longest. It means the inhabitants of this area, they very easily get into the 100s. Usually people, they live 105, 110. The elderly people here, the oldest people here now, it is, I think, actually 121. So here is the blue zones. Maybe you might know this term of the blue zones. There's only five, three islands. I remember Okinawa, Okinawa in Japan, Ikaria Island in Greece, Sardinia in Italy, and then Loma Linda in California, and then Peninsula de Nicoya. Another fact, which is a fun fact, you know that Switzerland, they don't have ocean, they don't have a way to the ocean. So this is the way to the ocean to the Swiss people because we have the largest community of Swiss people living here, like 2,000 people live in this area of Nosara. Cura. Cura, it is located by the whale tail. Remember the Whale Marine National Park? Well, most of the properties here, they're located in the hills. So you can have these great views. And so you can spot the whales on season. And then you can go down to enjoy the beach, which is obviously protected. But usually people, they come to properties here not to stay at the beach because it is protected, but to enjoy the views to the ocean, to the whale tail, and to actually to the wildlife around, and the birds and the wildlife around the properties here. Cura is one of the most beautiful properties in Costa Rica. I have shown some, I have said the same to all, but actually we have many beautiful small properties in Costa Rica. Cura has only 9 rooms, actually. Lapa Rios. Lapa Rios is an icon on sustainability. It was founded nearly 30 years ago by the Lewis family, and they kept this precious land protected in Corcovado. Remember, I told you about the national park, the Corcovado, in the southern part of Costa Rica, the South Pacific area. So it is close to Corcovado, very close to the tip of the peninsula de Osa, where the park is located. It is so easy to spot wildlife, the red macaws in this area in front of your rooms. We have very nice properties. This is why I said this area well deserved to be named as the top end, the best ending of a holiday in Costa Rica. El Remanso, we have Cativo, we have Playa Nicuesa, Casa Corcovado, to name some of the amazing lodges in this area of Corcovado. Also, for you to forget about that Guanacaste and the beaches are just beaches that I said. That's the most important factor of Guanacaste. And this is why we have a second airport, Liberia in Guanacaste. It is because in Guanacaste we have also national park. This is Palo Verde, a marshland. This is one of the best parts for wildlife viewing, but especially for birding. We have all these big birds in this area, the marshland of Palo Verde National Park, very close to the beaches in Guanacaste. Also in Santa Teresa, in Guanacaste, in the Peninsula de Nicoya, Tamarindo, Papagayo. We have Manuel Antonio. Remember the small national park in the Central Pacific. We have great villas, amazing houses. I'm showing these beautiful places, these luxury homes in Tamarindo. Why? Because these are really great options for families for keeping your bubble together in one amazing place very close to the beach. So we have really a great number of properties in the central and north Pacific side of Costa Rica. This is in Papagayo. We all want to be there right now. Okay, this is the map. I told you we drove this map to show you all these places that we have been talking about. So Costa Rica, really small. We have the national the San Juan Santa Maria SAO airport in the Central Valley area. This is the Central Valley area here. So this is the airport right here. Next to it is San Jose and the major cities of the main provinces in Costa Rica. So all this area. So the airport's here. The other airport, Liberia, is located right here, very close to Papagayo. So Tortuguero, the first place that I mentioned, Tortuguero, it is a wildlife destination, soft adventure to go first when you come to Costa Rica. It is right here in the northern side of the Pacific, of the Caribbean side, right here. Remember, there are no roads to go to Tortuguero, but you can fly to Tortuguero. So you go to a certain point right here, and then you take a boat along rivers and then go up to Tortuguero. Or you fly in and out. We usually recommend one way by road so you can enjoy more the canals and the rivers and the wildlife right here, but you can make it easy and you can even connect and then go to Arenado. You can fly to Arenado, you can go by land to Arenado, the Arenal volcano area, the most visited place in Costa Rica, next to the Arenal Lake. And then crossing the lake, we'll find here Monteverde, the cloud forest, okay? And Rincón de la Vieja. Rincón de la Vieja, this is the place for the mud baths. People come here just to look younger. You put this mud, this hot mud in your face, and you will be looking 10 years younger. I promise that. And then we have Papagayo, Conchal, Tamarindo, Nosara right here, Santa Teresa, Malpais, and this is the Peninsula de Nicoya right here. Peninsula Nicoya, one of the blue zones of the world, okay? And then going for the south, on the Pacific, we can find here Manuel Antonio National Park, the smallest park in Costa Rica, but the most visited one by tourists because of the many attractions. And then the south, we have Corcovado. This is the Peninsula de Osa. And then we have Corcovado National Park, the most biologically intense place on Earth, right here. And then going back, you can include here another, you can consider this place, San Gerardo de Dota. Why? San Gerardo de Dota, this is another cloud forest such as Monteverde. So in San Gerardo de Dota, we put this little quetzal because it is easier to spot quetzals all year round. Remember, during the dry season from December till April, we can spot quetzals in Monteverde. Here is all year round because we have aguacatillo. We have food for the quetzals all year round available nearby the hotels. Actually, we have about 6 properties we use in this area. In the Turrialba Valley, here we have the Pacuare River, and then going south, we have Puerto Viejo, the South Caribbean. The Afro-Caribbean culture is located right here, from Puerto Viejo to the port of Limon, one of the most beautiful roads. Costa Rica, it is one of the best places for self-driving. Remember, I mentioned Costa Rica is one of the safest destinations in Latin America. Doing self-driving, it is amazing because the landscape of Costa Rica, it is gorgeous. It is one of the most beautiful places in the world because of the greenery, because of the mountains. Remember, I mentioned there are 3 mountain ranges, one in the central part of the country, the other one in the south, and the northern one. 9 active volcanoes. Boas volcanoes in the Central Valley, it is right here with the biggest crater of the world. Okay? So self-driving, private transportation, shared transportation. We have a system of minivans and vans going everywhere into most of these destinations, except Corcovado. It is kind of far away. It takes about, I would say, 4 hours from Manuel Antonio, but it takes then 8 hours from San Jose to get to Corcovado. So we recommend them flying to this area or flying back if you're here, if you visited Manuel Antonio, and then Corcovado, flying back from this area to San Jose. So this is more or less Costa Rica. Okay, this is the end. Now we go to the part of questions.
That was fantastic. Because I'm just going to take you off there. Perfect. Okay, seriously, who wants to go to Costa Rica? Let's see some hands. Let's see some thank yous to Carlos in the chat. I'm ready to go. And I tell you, one of those pictures definitely hit home for me with all the baby turtles going out into the ocean. I was able to experience that one time, not in Costa Rica, in Mexico, but honestly, that was one of the most treasured experiences of my life. And
Good.
now I have to go to Costa Rica and do that too.
Good. Good.
Do we have any questions? I did see one come through the chat. It was Melina. She was asking if there's a chance that the volcanoes could erupt. Did you hear that, Carlos?
Sorry, I was trying to get up to catch up on the chat. Tell me, please.
That's okay. No, I was watching the chats as they were coming through. I did see a question come through from Melina asking if there's a chance that the volcano could erupt.
Okay, the Arenal volcano was, I'm from there, remember, it was very active from 83. It became active. It was known like a hill, and it became very active in 1983, and then all the way up to 2008. It is not active anymore, but we have the thermal waters. We don't see activity on the volcano. We have some volcanoes active. So having nine doesn't mean that they are active at the moment. Usually one become more active than the other. They are like changing, they're taking turns to be more active. The one Rincon de la Vieja, which is very active right now, we can see sometimes eruptions, but we don't go up to the crater in this volcano. That part has been closed for forever because the access is not easy. We go into the fumarolas only. So that area is very safe. Um, we had people visiting the Turrialba. Now it is calm. The Turrialba volcano in one of the valleys going towards the Pacific. I show you. Turrialba was very active, and so when it became active, we had some ashes, coming here in the Central Valley, but so they closed it. So it has to be safe for everybody, obviously for local people and for visitors. And now we can walk up to the crater because it's calm since about more than 8 months. But in general, it is very difficult. Stupid things have happened in the past. I can tell you, things have happened, but it means that someone made the wrong decision to go to a prohibited area. You don't go to areas you cannot go when you're close to certain volcanoes.
Definitely. And we have a couple more questions coming in. And just a reminder, everybody, stay tuned because we are gonna announce the prize and how to try and win that prize. So just hang in there a little bit while we get through some questions. But just on the topic of volcanoes, John is asking what percentage of the time or what season are the volcanoes most visible? Because he's been there twice and they were under clouds both times.
Okay, that's very tricky. Okay, remember I said we have two seasons, the dry season and the rainy season. It is supposed to be the dry season, the best time because it should be clearer. There's no rains, there's no foggy, no clouds around the volcano. Remember, those are peaks. There might be clouds at any moment around it. I know people that have come to Arenal volcano and haven't seen it. And I'm very sorry because usually 90% of the time you can spot it. It happens during the rainy season mostly, but Arenal is located in the northern plains. It is mostly affected by the Caribbean and the northern winds. I mean, the Alisius winds coming from the north. So let me blame it on North America. All the cold winds coming from the north on your winter time, they're coming down to the Caribbean side. So we might get rains and clouds at this time in Arenal. So that might happen. And it might happen that on the rainy season, it will be easier to spot the volcano. It is very tricky, but it's supposed to be that November, December, and January has to be the best time to spot the volcano. But I would say also March and April could be good times to spot the Arenal volcano.
Perfect, thank you. And Mary was asking about hotels. Are they usually all inclusive? Or maybe one of the questions would be where the all inclusives are more situated compared to some of the others that would be more maybe breakfast or something like that.
Okay, all-inclusive hotel. I say something. 94 of the properties in Costa Rica have less than 40 rooms. I mean, boutique hotels, lodges, locally owned properties everywhere. None of the properties in Arenal, remember this, all the local people, my family, they built their properties, the hotels around the volcano in their own land, which is great to interact with the local people, the local families, and see their businesses growing. But there's no chain hotels in Arenal. So the all-inclusive properties are chain hotels. Those are located in the beaches of Guanacaste. I can mention some like Planet Hollywood, AMS hotels like the Secrets Papagayo and the Dreams Las Mareas. Also, the Westin in Conchal Beach. It is an all-inclusive, but we have one Occidental hotel in Tamarindo, which is an all-inclusive. There are just very few. There's not many all-inclusive properties. We have the Rio Hotel. We don't even sell the Rio hotels because those are huge properties, and for the Canadian market, they have like I don't know now. I don't know what is happening with the pandemic, with the current contract, but they have a couple of contracts with the big players in Canada. So we couldn't sell a room for Canada. They just stop it. So those are huge. Actually, the real, they are 500 and 700 rooms. So uh, it is the beach, it is Costa Rica, but it's really not what you sell as Costa Rica in general.
And Robin's asking how much time would you recommend for Corcovado area?
Corcovado, you have to go there minimum 3 nights. It is so amazing, wildlife and the experiences there, and you don't want to leave it. Actually, we're selling a lot of 1 week in Corcovado.
And Martina's asking how long is the drive approximately from Tort to Arenal?
The driving,
That drive from Tortuguero to Arenal.
the driving. Okay, remember when you go to Tortuguero, it's a full day experience. Going by land, you leave about 7 a.m. in the morning, then you stop for breakfast on the road, then you continue 1 hour more. About 11 a.m., you take a boat and then you reach the lodge in Tortuguero after 1.5 hours, I would say 2 hours. It depends on the day. It depends of the level of the water of the canal. So the operation changes, varies every day. So it will be like a half day experience. So you get for lunch about 1:30 to Tortuguero. Going out and going to Arenal, it means you leave after breakfast, 9 a.m. You will be at the dock, at the place you take the bus about 11. And then you get a stop for lunch, which is included in the package. Breakfast, it is included on the way in. Lunch is included on the way out. All meals in the lodges are included. So lunch it is included, and then lunch will be from 1 to 2 p.m. And then you will get about um, to Arenal about 4 p.m. right on time to get into the in the hot springs.
Sounds perfect. Just a follow-up question to the all-inclusive. She's more actually interested in um, the hotels, whether there's restaurants in most of them, or if there's usually options for restaurants nearby. Because she's more interested in the smaller hotels that you were mentioning as well.
It depends on the area. As I mentioned, Santa Teresa Malpais, which is a very small property. Nantipa has only 16 rooms. That's the biggest property. So we have about 20 properties there, and we have about 50 small restaurants in the area because there's a lot of private villas and private houses there. So there's so many options. But in Costa Rica, just to mention something, we don't have like cities on the beach areas. Tamarindo is the biggest, and Tamarindo is just one road, one strip of land. The other area, which is more developed, is the town of Quepos, which is close to Manuel Antonio National Park. But in some areas, you will find options for dining out, and the South Caribbean, they have many options of restaurants in this small, there's a lot of small lodges in the Southern Caribbean side. But I would say Tortuguero, there's a couple of bars in town. In Arenal, there's a lot of options to eat in La Fortuna, the main town of Arenal volcano. So there, depending on the place, you will have options to go out and dine around.
Perfect. And Bronnan's asking what are some of the surfing locations where she can
The
combine wildlife viewing as well. So she wants to do wildlife viewing during the day and go to the beach.
and turtle.
She's just saying wildlife. Oh, Torto. Okay.
Okay, the turtle season in Tortuguero, it is from July till September. But in Nosara, remember, Ostional, which is happening, is mostly throughout the year when they are in the last quarter of the moon. It is just to ask the guides there, how about the ribadas? We need to be in contact with them and ask every time. So nature is something we cannot promise. Wildlife viewing is when we protect nature, is not that it is there for us to spot. But when you go to Tortuguero, you see wildlife. Actually, we have one complaint from someone from Romania. We had this group and they saw so much wildlife, so many animals, so many birds in Tortuguero that they complained that some of them, they were plastic. Actually not.
Hilarious. We have one more question for you. When renting a car, do you require special car insurance or international driver's license?
Okay, you don't need an international driver license. You just come with your own driver license, and then you get a car. This is, minimum age is 21 or 23, depends on the company. Um, so the insurance is it is not really mandatory. We strongly recommend driving in Costa Rica. It is not driving in Italy. I promise that, but it's a little bit crazy. I know how to drive, but in general, it is very safe. But the roads here are not like in Canada. I can promise that. We are not a developed country. We are doing good now. We have improved our roads everywhere a lot, but still some windy roads everywhere because of the mountains and the hills going up and down. When you drive to Nosara, it takes time. It is beautiful, but it takes and sometimes require a 4x4 in certain areas. Actually, driving to Monteverde is still half of the road is not paved. If you drive from Arenal to Monteverde, you have to go around the lake because going up in the mountains when we take people there on private transfer. We go up in the mountains, but it's very, very broken. They are not really nice. It, we say, let's go to heaven. That means Monteverde because it is difficult to get to heaven, right? So, but it is beautiful. It really pays visiting Monteverde, but it takes time. So we recommend a 4x4.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Carlos. So,
My pleasure.
everybody, you guys have been waiting so patiently for the opportunity to win this amazing prize from Carlos that he's generously and graciously offered and donated us to us. So this basically is um, through your advisor at Personal Travel Management in correspondence with Travel Excellence, obviously. But it's 2 nighs at, let me just share my screen now, at the beautiful Senda in Monteverde, the hotel here. And it's a fabulous property right in the middle. There's so much to see and do all around it, but it's 2 nights here. And your chance to win, we're going to be sending out a few questions, follow-up questions tomorrow, just like just a couple, so don't worry, it's not long. Just a little survey and something that stood out for you in the presentation today, and your submissions will be entered into the draw, and we'll pull a lucky winner for 2 nights here. Now, if I know most of you were referred from one of your advisors at Personal Travel, but if you happen to receive this link and not through one of your advisors, I will leave the chat open so you can pop your email addresses in here, so I will add you to the questions that will be sent out to make sure that you are in the prize draw as well. So thank you everybody for joining us. Look at that, 7:58. Gosh, couldn't even get it any closer to 8. That's perfect. And stay tuned. We will be announcing, I was hoping to announce our next destination for next month today, but we're at 90% confirmed, and just in case there's any changes, but stay tuned. We will announce it, and we're excited to see you next month as well, but we'll all see you in Costa Rica. I'm ready to go. I hope you guys are too. Thank you.